What's up guys, Kabir here. This is the story of how I shot my personal best dog snapper. This was so challenging that it took 4 competent divers nearly an hour to bring out of a cave. But this is also the story of why I might never again shoot this species in South Florida for the sake of conservation. I began spearfishing 4 years ago, and during this time I've learned a great deal about the damage irresponsible commercial fishing is doing to our fish populations. I am concerned that my kids and your kids and all of our kids will never get the chance to swim with and enjoy and appreciate the beautiful species that we swim with today. I have made this video to educate you and to share the joy I experienced diving deep into the ocean. Man is a hunter-gatherer, but our relationship with the ocean and with nature since the Industrial Revolution has been one of needless, destructive exploitation. I want to show you that our relationship with nature need not be destructive. If done right, spearfishing is both sustainable and really fun. What's also fun is liking and subscribing to this video for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. Now we can begin the adventure. We started diving off of Delray Beach at about 55 feet of water, and on the first drop I nailed small yellowjack, but it got tangled up in the reef. My buddy Sean went down and shot another one, and as he was coming up, his rip-off was torn to shreds by barracuda, and then the same barracuda had the audacity to eat mine as well. Great barracuda are pesky buggers, and in my opinion, way worse than bull sharks when it comes to stealing your catch. Oh my god. My friend Matt and I then buddied up and began hunting the ledge that was on the inshore side of this reef, which dropped down from 55 to 65 feet of water. We had spotted several schools of small grunts, Creole wrasse, and lurking yellowtail snapper, and it got us thinking that there might be a larger predatory fish lurking around. I made a drop down onto the ledge and I noticed this crevice, and all of a sudden my heart skipped a beat. I see the top side of this massive dog snapper darting through the tight space. I marked the spot in my mind, and as I'm coming up, I see him again! He went in through the crevice and out through a hole in the ledge. I quickly realized that he had a lot of places to hide and this was not going to be an easy hunt. I made another drop down onto the crevice and I see him again! He's darting in and out of these holes at a fast pace, and in my head I'm just thinking, oh my god, this fish is crazy. How on earth are we going to outsmart it? But guys, this is the most thrilling part about spearfishing. Outsmarting your prey. The hunt. Let's go, baby, the hunt! We live for this! Dog snapper are a territorial species. They like to take property ownership of a piece of reef and reign as the dominant fish in that immediate area. So I had a feeling that even with consecutive drops up and down, this fish wasn't going anywhere. I went down for my third drop on the crevice, very gently and calmly, with the intention of not worrying about shooting the fish, but only making him curious about me. I angled my approach from the side of the crevice so that I could look all the way through it, and lo and behold, this fish is staring right at me. Curious about what I'm doing, but still cautious and feeling very secure in its hold. Feeling confident, I aimed my gun in its direction, but made sure not to look directly at the fish. Animals know to look at the eyes of a predator to learn the predator's intention. I purposefully pointed my mask up and to the right of the fish to get the fish thinking, oh, he's not looking at me, he hasn't seen me, but I'm going to keep my eye on him because I wonder what he's up to. The fish then turned, giving me a beautiful broadside shot, so I lined up the shot and went for it, and boy did this fish get hold up, oh my god. Getting a fish out of a deep hole while spearfishing is one of the most dangerous, strenuous, just overall messes of a thing that can ever happen while spearfishing. You have to do repetitive deep drops down, get other divers involved, worry about other marine predators that the struggling fish is going to attract, and you have to be smart and strategic about pulling the fish out. Consider this situation a crash course in hold up fish removal that I had to learn live on the spot, and I hope to God you learned something from it too. Step 1, find your dive buddy.
He's in there, isn't he?
Jack all the way through him?
I think so.
Yeah.
Step 2, look for the fish. Not only where you shot it, but also where it could be tangled up. My friend Matt pointed out a cloud of sand at the base of the ledge on the opposite side of the crevice, so that's where I began my search.
Where your line goes over the ledge to the sand, there's a huge cloud. Maybe it's easier to get him under there than where the line is.
Step 3, see that massive green moray eel trying to eat your fish? Poke it with a knife. Okay, maybe don't do that. But I started thinking about the eel's specialized second jaw called the pharyngeal jaw, which it uses to grab hold of its prey so that it can never let go. So I was super worried about sticking my hand inside to grab the fish. So I thought to myself, Kabir, why don't you just poke it? Step 4, try and untangle the fish. Steps 5 and 6, use a spot marker and use a flashlight. In this case, our marker was a gaff, which is just a big hook attached to a float line so that we can always see which cave the fish is in.
He's there.
Step 7, gaff the fish.
He's gaffed.
Step 8, consider going against everything you believe in and request a scuba tank.
You got a scuba tank?
For a brief moment, I actually thought that. How dare I? Step 9, constantly communicate with your dive buddies. The situation can change every drop somebody does, so keep everybody in the loop about what's going on down there.
I think the head we gotta push in, maybe get something where we can push his head a little bit because his head's getting hung up on that rock. We push him in and maybe roll him, I think we can get him out.
In the course of pulling this
Where's
fish
the
out,
shark?
a moray eel trying to eat it, seen a barracuda and a bull shark cruise by, and now a nurse shark was apparently ripping it to shreds. Step 11, get creative. We couldn't move the fish with the gap stuck in it, but I noticed the rock keeping it down was starting to get loose. My buddy John went down and heaved the rock out of the way, followed by Matt, who ripped the fish out of the hole. Step 12, cut the shooting line, grab the fish, and skedaddle. Optional step 13, flip off the big moray eel that was trying to eat your fish, but it couldn't because it was too big. That's right, it was too big, moray. It was too big. What you gonna do?
Yeah. That rock moved just like you said. I just moved it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
That was
The
awesome.
rock moved just like you said.
Really?
Just moved it. That was it.
Holy sh**.
Mine's like we're just thinking about other you know, but it's like just move the rock.
You and I were on the same wavelength getting this fish. Okay, let's get close, let's get close. I gotta make it look huge. Good man.
You can get your shaft too.
I think we can too. Ah,
Man, that is a freaking
thank you.
cute. We gotta get a picture on the front a little later here.
Let's get some grouper first.
As happy as I was about finally landing this fish, the fact that this species is so territorial got me thinking that I just took the life of one of the top predators of this little ecosystem. This means that I made a temporary impact on this food web. With that in mind, I decided to do some research into dog snapper populations. According to the IUCN, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the conservation status of dog snapper, Lutjanus jocu, from least concern to extinct, is considered to be data deficient. Data deficient means that there is not enough information available to make an assessment. There have not been enough studies done to assess the health of dog snapper. In spite of that, the IUCN does list the population trend as decreasing. Here are my 3 takeaways from the IUCN report and the research that I have read. Dog snapper are technically harvested in the US, but the total fish caught is so low that there is no indication of US population decline. When you're out diving, you might realize that dog snapper are not as naturally abundant as other snapper species like your mangrove snapper and your red snapper. Fisheries target those species and then occasionally catch dog snapper as bycatch. But in other parts of the species range, away from the US, things start to go downhill. In Mexico, for instance, there has been some indication of population decline, and this is likely due to the targeting of spawning aggregations, which in my opinion is straight up disrespectful and should be illegal. Once a year and in one location, all these fish get together to breed as one massive group. And if you're gonna fish that area, at that spot, at that time of the year, you're gonna end up pulling up way too many fish, and you're probably gonna have a serious negative impact on the health of the population. In Brazil, the population is considered to be fully to overexploited, and this is likely due to lack of strict fishing regulations like we have here in Florida. This species needs fish stock assessments, monitoring of fishing, and an overall reduction in fishing pressure. And by that, I mean through regulations. What I would love for you to take away from this video is appreciate that we have strict regulations here in Florida. We are very lucky to have the enforcement provided to us by FWC, which allows our fish populations to remain healthy and fishable. To be safe, I'm gonna leave most dog snapper alone from now on. Once or twice a year, if I see a really good one, I might take it. But the little guys you see on those shallow reefs, they're gonna get a pass from me from now on. But how about you? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing to this video, as well as following me on Instagram. I post there super frequently, Cabs Freediver. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys at the next one.